Hello, everybody.
What's up?
Welcome. This is the Unemployed Diaries Podcast, episode 7.
7, yeah.
Wow.
Crazy.
7 episodes.
Did you guys miss us
last
week?
We missed you.
We missed you, but very much like Chicago, we were both under the weather.
We had some crazy weather the last few weeks.
Yeah,
Dominic and I were also both sick. I'm still kind of sick, so I might sound a little nasally during this, but it's okay. We'll power through.
We had it wasn't the lettuce, but I think something got me. I don't know if it was the lettuce or if it was some other form of produce. But no, I don't know what that was. And yeah, what about you, Dana?
Well, I got a sinus infection / ear infection. So it's been really fun. I've been basically stuck in my house for a week. I went out last night, just me and my boyfriend. We got dinner and stuff. So I was I need to get out of the house. I was starting to feel a little better. Oh, I also, I got my hair done yesterday. I got a little refresh. So
strawberry vanilla, like you said on your post.
Yeah.
Very nice.
So, we don't film or anything, but I got basically we just bleached the underneath part.
My microphone is currently being attacked by a fur baby right now. So if you guys hear dog noises, that's Vivian. All right, baby, go get a toy. What's over there? Thank you.
So, yeah, I got my hair done. I went out to dinner last night.
What'd you guys go get?
We got Thai food.
Oh.
Yeah, by his house. There's a little...
I like Thai food.
Yeah, Thai. I think it's called dung something.
Mm-hmm.
I know it's called dung something because I kept laughing.
Oh, because
everything was it was dung something, but on the menu, some of the items were dung special, and I don't know, I was just I had the brain of a middle schooler, and I just kept laughing about it.
It's like that scene in A Bug's Life. Who ordered the poo-poo platter?
Yeah.
Yep.
So, yeah, we got food. It was good. And then we just kind of came back. We chilled. We watched TV. Went to bed.
Nice.
Yeah.
Speaking of nostalgic Disney things, saw Hilary Duff on Sunday.
I'm so jealous.
It was very hot, very humid, and it's an outdoor. We saw her out in Tinley Park, Illinois. It's an outdoor arena, theater, whatever you want to call it, amphitheater.
Yeah.
She did a great show. She did an hour and 45 minutes, which I was just does she, no tea, no shade to Hillary.
Yeah.
But I'm does she have an hour and 45 minutes worth of, songs to do? But she did.
Yeah.
She did a good mix of her classic hits that, we grew up with. And then she did a few from her new album.
Yeah.
Luck or something is the name of it. But she was good. The only thing was it was hot. It was humid. My clothes were drenched in sweat by the time I got home. And it took us an hour to get into the parking lot. It took us an hour to get out of the parking lot. That's no fault of her own, but Tinley Park, need to hire better traffic controllers and not teenagers with lightsabers, essentially. That was my only gripe. Otherwise, she did a good job.
That's good.
She did a good job, and I was very happy that I got to go. Okay. Yeah. You're a few years younger than me.
Yes.
But you know of Hilary Duff, and you know of Lizzie McGuire. Did you know about this tour? Because I know somebody who saw my post on Instagram. They're like, oh my god, I had no idea she was coming on tour. And this person was equally as big of a fan as I am.
No, I knew she was going on tour.
Okay. I thought it was just me.
No.
Okay, so
that's... But I'm a secretly huge Hilary Duff fan. Well, I guess it's not really a secret, but I have been following her for years.
Since you were a kid.
Since I was a kid, yeah. So, yeah. I knew she was going on tour. I really wanted to get tickets. Me and my family me and my sister, we, like, talked about it, but it just didn't end up working out with, like, our schedules and stuff.
Right,
and then we kind of talked about, like, oh, well, maybe we'll get, like, last minute, like, you know, but then which is a whole other thing. I don't know if you saw it, because my sister sent me photos that, like, the day of or, like, the night before the concert, people were selling tickets for, like, $100,000.
No, well, okay, so I needed a ticket for my sister. And I was checking, like, every week, and the tickets were, like, almost $300-$400 for the same section that I was sitting in. And so I was like, I need one for my sister, because what happened was my friend got me the ticket, and my sister's like, did she get me one? I was like, well, no, because my sister, Gavi, I'm sorry if you're listening, has, like, a track record where me and my friend go to concerts, and my sister's like, no, it's okay, I'll pass. So my friend was just like, well, she always passes in the past, and my sister's like, well, it's Hillary Duff, why wouldn't I want to go see her?
Yeah.
I understand both sides. I do. And for where we were sitting, I asked my friend, I'm like, how much were the tickets? She's like, they're about $90. I was like, oh, okay. So when I was looking for a ticket for my sister, like I said, $300 to $400. I'm like, I'm not paying that.
Yeah, that's crazy.
And then luckily, the Thursday before, concert was on a Sunday. On that Thursday before, I found one for under $150 in that same section. And I was like, all right, that's the best it's going to get.
That's the best it's going to get.
Yeah, yep, let me just buy it. And yeah, luckily it all worked out. We got to sit together. We got to, we played musical chairs a little bit before the concert. We made friends with the people around us, and we got to able to sit together, which was nice.
Yeah.
But yeah, ticket prices. You know who's to blame for that, right?
It's Ticketmaster?
And?
I don't know. Live Entertainment?
No, I don't want to say her name. Her cult of fans will come after me.
T-Swift?
Yup. People were mortgaging their houses to go see her.
We're really gonna have the Swifties come after us.
I mean, that's fine. That's fine.
It's okay. I'm not a Swift. We're not Swifties.
My Swiftie card expired in 2014.
You ready to watch that wedding special?
Oh, the wedding special. The wedding that was supposed to be so private.
Yeah.
And that she didn't want nobody to know about.
That was held at
Madison Square Garden.
Just the most,
With a 50 camera film crew, the one we weren't supposed to know about.
Yeah. And
she had the CEO of AMC Theaters there. And the guy who runs ICE detention centers.
Yeah.
Wow, I had no idea that she got married. But yeah, speaking of doing things and living life.
Yeah.
So you had a nice weekend with your boyfriend. You were recovering.
Yeah, the weekend before, I did go to the Renaissance Fair with my cousin. So I took like a little weekend trip. I went to Cleveland to visit my cousin, and we went to the Renaissance Fair. It was really fun. It was just good cousin time. Like, I loved my family. They all live like in Ohio. So like my dad's side of the family all lives in they pretty much all live in Ohio. So I don't get to see them all the time, but I try to make time, especially in the summer when there's like more things to do outside.
We have both Midwest states. Yeah.
I try to like go and see family every summer.
Okay, let me ask you a question. This is kind of off topic, but when I say immediate family, I always include my aunts, uncles, and first cousins in that statement. Yeah. And I know some people are like, no, your immediate family is your brother, sister, mom, and dad, or the people you live with. And I'm just like, well, and then your extended families, your aunts and uncles. I'm like, I don't subscribe to that.
I feel like I go back and forth because sometimes I'll refer to my immediate family as my parents, my sister, and my grandma. And then sometime, which is the family that I see the most here. And then other times I'll say my immediate family and refer to it as how you just said.
Right.
I don't think I really refer to extended family unless I'm talking about family members that I don't see often.
Okay.
I will say that I do have some aunts and uncles that I see at weddings and funerals, and I almost kind of consider that, like, extended family.
Okay, same, yeah.
I don't know. Maybe for me, it's like, based on the relationship I have with them.
I think so, too, yeah. I think we both have, like, the same thought about it, because people are like, oh, yeah, your extended family? I'm like, what are you talking about? It's my cousin. They're like, what's your... but...
Yeah, no.
Me and my family dynamic, I grew up with all my cousins, like, if they were brother and sisters. Like, we were always together doing things. So, for me, I'm like, they are my immediate family, yeah. My family that lives out of state, they're all, like, either second cousins, great aunts, great uncles. So them I consider extended family. And then, what was my point? I lost my train of thought.
It's okay.
No, it's all right.
We're just talking about family. We got that COVID brain.
Honestly, that brain fog is real. If you've ever had COVID and you're still experiencing brain fog,
I think the smoke inhalation we had I think we lost some brain cells here. my last two brain cells are just like, they're fighting each other right now. Yeah.
So let us know down below in the comments what you consider extended family or immediate family. Yeah. Also, unfortunately, we did not get any comments on our last podcast, at least on YouTube. I haven't checked Spotify.
I didn't check.
Okay. So
we're chill over here.
We're very chill. Thank you to all 13 people on YouTube who listened in. I think we have 20 subscribers. Yeah. That's good.
That's like a class size.
I know, that is...
So, I mean, like, I don't know who those 20 people are, but thank you.
Yeah,
I love you.
That's a lecture hall worth of students.
Yeah.
That's great. Okay, so I got this, so we're both unemployed, right? Mm-hmm. I think we're still both unemployed.
We are both still unemployed.
Yes. So I wanted to talk about, grief and or guilt for living life as an unemployed person.
It's a good one. Yeah, I feel like... Okay. To someone who's not employed... to someone who's not unemployed. So if you have a job, I can see how you would go, I'm working 9 to 5 every day, grinding at this job, and, you're just sitting on your butt.
Let me preface. Yeah. Unemployed, meaning... like no job, regular job, like a 9 to 5 or like a retail job, but also stay-at-home parenting. I consider that a job.
I would too.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So if you're a stay-at-home person and you don't have like a regular job, you're not employed in the traditional way, but you are still working.
I would consider that work.
Yeah. It is. You're still working. That is work. So if you are somebody who is unemployed. No children. No children. That's what we're talking about. Yeah.
So, basically, I from a different perspective, I could see how someone who's working 9 to 5 is going, all of my time is being spent at work, and somebody who's unemployed is doing nothing. So, I think there's a stigma that's if you don't have a job, then you're just sitting around all day and wasting away or
you should
being irresponsible with your, lifestyle or your money and your finances or whatever, because all of that goes hand in hand. And I think being on the other side of it now, where now I'm unemployed for the first time ever, life just doesn't end when you're unemployed. So I think the best thing that I've tried to do is give myself work, which, has been helpful. And in turn, I can say, if somebody were to ask me, what am I doing or whatever, it's well, yeah, I'm unemployed or whatever, but I'm still I still have work going on. I still am running a small business and, getting that off the ground. And, that does take a lot of time.
Yeah,
and then,
for sure.
In my other free time that I have, because I will say, I feel I do have a lot of free time right now. I think that is part of it, is, there is this undeniable element that, when you're unemployed, you have free time.
Yeah.
And I think it's just about what are you using to fill that time? Are you doing something productive or not? And I think even something as simple as a hobby is beneficial. So, you know, I've kind of changed now where it's like if I'm watching TV, I'm working on a craft, or like I'm painting or I'm drawing, like I'm trying to do something other than just like stare at a screen 24/7 and just like sit on a couch and do nothing, you know. I'm trying to get outside more, work out, you know, go for a bike ride, spend time with my dogs, deep clean parts of my house that I haven't had the time to get to.
You're telling me, holy cow.
Yeah.
My project when I first got let go, many moons ago now, was to go through my closet. And my sister had just moved out into her new home, so I used her bedroom to like put all my clothes in so I can spread it out and see it. It's been over a year and all that clothes is still just sitting there. Yeah. And like I've been living between like laundry baskets filled with my clothes on top of my bed, clothes in her room or her old room. And my parents were just like, are you ever gonna? I'm like, I don't know now at this point.
Yeah.
I want to because now my parents' clothes are in that room, but like on racks, like those rollaway racks.
Yeah.
And that's something too. I travel a lot. Even that now that I'm not working, I still have been, the last year and a half, I've been on like 10 trips.
Yeah.
And everyone's just like, oh my God, you're unemployed. How are you affording to fly places? Like I was in Disney, I was in Paris, I was in Spain, did Mexico twice last year, like, and then this year I was in Mexico a few weeks ago, and people are like, you're unemployed, you shouldn't be traveling. I'm like, why can't I travel?
Yeah.
Like, if
I feel the same way about that. I think we spent, like, I totally see what you're saying there, because, like, I remember, not, you know, I love my family, but, you know, when I had told them that I was going to be traveling to visit my cousin for the weekend in a different state, you know, last weekend, they were like, how are you doing? Like, how are you affording that? And I'm like, well, it's just gas. I'm staying with her. You know, like, it's relatively a low-cost experience.
Yeah, driving.
Yeah.
If you know somebody and you can stay with them, you're just paying for gas and food.
And a lot of the time, people who don't travel often, I think, get this idea that traveling has to be this, like, big, large expense.
Yep.
And it doesn't have to be like that. Like, I've done traveling where I'm essentially spending the same amount of money that I would during my regular, like, day, just, like, in a new location.
Right.
And so, you know, and then there's also other things. Like, if there's, like, plenty of, like, travel credit cards that you can have, and where, like, you can, you know, save up points so you can get free airfare, and usually when that happens, those incentive programs usually kind of work so that once you can afford to get, like, one flight, then there's other, like, incentives where it's like, okay, now you can use points towards a hotel. You can earn 5 times the points if you spend money in an airport, which, like, if you're flying, you're probably going to do, even if it's, like, just getting a coffee or something. Right. So there's ways that you can travel on a budget. And I think, like, you only live once.
Yeah.
And life is short. And you have to take the time, like, you have to take the opportunities that come as they come. And if that means that you have the freedom now to take, say, that 2-week trip that you've been maybe, like, saving up PTO for, well, like, now you don't have a job, so just go. That's kind of my attitude. It's like, just do it, because life is just way too short. Like, you know?
So that's a great point, because my mom's business, she's a travel agent. She co-owns a business with her business partner, and we get people that either contact, you know, via email or by phone, or they come into the office and they're like, oh, I don't know, should I do it? Should I book the trip? And we're like, yeah. Like, you're not getting any younger. Life is short. Like, do it. And there's this phenomenon that we've experienced with new travelers where they're like, well, I've never really traveled. And we ask them, like, oh, why is that? Just out of curiosity. Why is it, you know, because it's, like, a financial thing? Or is it, like, just preference? And they're like, and a lot of people say, like, oh, well, traveling was never something that or traveling was something that I was always told growing up that that's what wealthy people do, or that's not like attainable, like don't aspire to that or don't like work towards that. And I always thought that was bizarre. And then there's people who are content staying put and like never going out of their like bubble.
Yeah.
And so working in the travel industry with my mom, like because I've worked there on and off in her office, and seeing how many people are like, oh my God, I should have done this sooner. Why was I just staying put? Why was I limiting to myself to only places either I can drive or taking staycations at home? Once they see like, yeah, you know, it's a little bit more expensive than like taking a road trip to Wisconsin Dells or to like Lake Geneva or something, but then they see the value in, oh, I get why people fly. I get why people go out and want to go see things.
My parents really love travel.
Mm-hmm.
And when they, you know, had me and my sister, that was like a priority for them but yeah, so for my family, it was a priority that we would travel together. Like every year we would have at least like a family vacation when I was younger.
Mine too.
And I think there's something truly like so valuable about that. Just having like that bonding time, and also traveling so young, I think just made me feel like, oh yeah, this is just a natural part of my life. Like it's just a natural thing that we do and that I'm going to do when I'm older. And it also really, I think, opened my eyes to just a different way of living. It's really nice to get out of your bubble and just meet different people, experience new cultures. My parents were always the kind to like embrace new things, you know, whether that be like trying a new food or, I don't know, learning new information. Like they really pushed us to like use trips and like new cultures as a way to like gain information about the way that other people live. And so like to do that, you kind of have to like immerse yourself in that experience.
One of my aunts, she came over the other day because she lost power temporarily, and we had ordered dinner from Naf Naf.
Okay.
And for those of you not familiar, Naf Naf is like a Mediterranean, Middle Eastern type of like restaurant.
Yeah.
It's a little Americanized, but it's still good. Yeah. And so she works for a like an outpatient like services, like a medical system.
Yeah.
And it's in the same like strip mall, and she's never had it. She's like, oh, I didn't know what it was, so I never went in there, or like never went to go see what it was. I was like, it's a new business to our area, and it's like a new restaurant. Like you weren't even curious to like Google it to see what they served. And she's like, no, I never thought about it. And so she had dinner with us, and she's like, she really enjoyed it. She's like, oh, now I know what I've been missing. I'm like, see? And I don't know if that's their generation. She's geriatric Gen X. It's true, she is. She's like the first year of Gen X, my aunt.
That's so funny.
There's Gen X is too big. Gen X is like, the first half is like from 1966 until like 1980. Or like 1978 or something, and then from like 1980 to like 90 is like the lost generation, or Gen Y.
Oh.
But they're still considered Gen X.
Oh,
it's like a huge and then it's just like, so it's Gen X from like 1966 to like 1985, and then it's millennials.
Wow.
Yeah, it's huge.
I feel like that's huge.
Yeah, so that's why they say Gen Y. They call like the later half of that Gen Y.
Well, that's kind of how Gen Z is, too. Like, there's, like, older Gen Z, and then there's, like, younger Gen Z, and they kind of need to almost be, like, two separate things, because I think I technically fall under being an older Gen Z. I'm just gonna say that I'm Gen Z.
You're definitely a cusp. You're, like, right there.
I really don't identify as, like, a millennial, because I don't really feel like I am a millennial. Internally, I feel Gen Z. So...
Okay.
But I think
I'm listening.
I think that's because I've been around younger people most of my life. Like, I had a younger sister. Most of my, like, cousins that I'm close with are, like, younger than me. Like, I was kind of always the older one, and I think I was exposed to, like, that younger side that, like, they grew up with.
Okay.
because I didn't have anyone older. Like, I literally was not around anyone that was older than me when I was growing up.
The same, but all my cousins are older than me, or the majority of them. And so they're like elder, geriatric millennial. So I grew up with them, so I know a lot of their things from like the late 80s, the early 90s, and throughout into the 2000s. But I also have cousins who are way younger than me, who are Gen Z, and I spent a lot of time around them too. So I kind of feel like Hannah Montana, I got the best of both worlds.
Oh.
So I got like the older millennial, and then I got the older Gen X experience. I mean, Gen Z, excuse me. Yeah, so...
No, I feel like I kind of identify more as I just kind of call myself, like, an older Gen Z.
Okay.
Like, because I don't really... I think I'm still too old to, like, identify with the younger Gen Z. I'm like, yeah, that's, like, I don't understand the way that they operate.
They, like, never learn. Okay, and then people... Okay, so this is...
But I'm open to it.
Right.
Like, I like the creativity of Gen Z. I like how...
Well, some of them are creative. Because some of them don't have two brain cells to rub together. Did I tell you about when I went to Taco Bell a couple weeks ago?
I think so.
About the guy just staring at me in the drive-thru?
Yes, the Gen Z stare. We talked about that.
I still can't get over that. I won't harp on it anymore because I'll sound like a broken record, but, like, I don't get it.
I think it's just... I don't know. I think for me, even though sometimes I worry that, like, I do the Gen Z stare, because I feel like there are just moments, like, especially when I would work customer service, where I would just, like, disassociate. I'd be like, I don't know what you're asking me.
Okay, so...
Like, my brain would, like, be trying to compute.
I know I'm not the first person who has probably done this, but I worked in retail pharmacy, and sometimes dealing with the general public and trying to explain insurance things or how medicine works and just basic, like, pharmacy operations, it was just, like, foreign to them. And, you know, rightfully so. You don't work in a pharmacy, so I get it. But, like, sometimes they would ask me there's no such thing as a stupid question, but, like, stupid questions. Mm-hmm. And I remember explaining something to someone, and they just, like, did not grasp the concept, and they asked me something, and I just looked at them and I said, "Are you stupid?" I was like, at this point, it was like 10 minutes in, I was just like, past my limit. So at the end of my shift, right? And they're like, "What?" I'm like, "Well, I've explained this to you like 5 times already, and you are not comprehending. I don't know how much more I can explain it to you, right? In layman's terms."
Yeah.
So, of course, they called and they, like, were just taken aback by it. They didn't call the scene or anything. They're just like, "What? No, I'm not stupid." I'm like, "Okay, great, because then you should be able to understand this." Well, they called and complained. And my boss was like, "Dominic, did you call somebody stupid?" I go, "No. I asked if they were stupid."
And like, how did that go?
I got a verbal warning.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, because it was like my first offense in like 10 years, right? And I was just like whatever. I felt justified. I felt that it was fair. Like, it wasn't until I asked them that everything that I had just explained to them clicked. Mm-hmm. I was like, have you ever seen Major Payne?
No.
It's an old, I don't want to say old, but it's like a very early 2000s movie. It's about these kids that get a military, like, boot camp.
Okay.
And the guy's name is Major Payne. It's like a pun. His last name is Payne. And there's a part where he's explaining something to these campers, and they don't get it. And he's just like, he's pointing at his mouth. He's like, "Do you not understand the words that are coming out of my mouth?" And anytime I was working in retail, they didn't understand. I felt like him.
Okay.
Yeah. So, Major Payne, go watch it.
I can relate to, like, just the general public and working retail. What an experience.
They're getting worse. The general public.
The general public's getting worse.
They're getting worse.
Our brain cells are dying with smoke inhalation.
All right.
Anyway.
Let's talk about the smoke. No, I want to talk about the smoke.
Oh, you want to talk about the smoke? Okay.
For the second year in a row, thank you, Canada, for your wildfire smoke that we get in Chicago. Our sky was, like, green.
It was awful. felt like I couldn't even be outside.
I had to use my inhaler, and I was inside my house. I didn't leave my house that day.
Yeah.
And I had to use my inhaler so that I can breathe. I had all the air purifiers on high. And, yeah. And
was yours so bad that you could smell it, like, inside of your house? Because that's how it was for me here.
It kind of smelled like rancid barbecue.
Yeah.
That's the only way I can describe it.
It did.
Yeah.
It smelled like... the ashes from, like, someone barbecuing.
It smells like they took bacon, put it on a plastic cutting board, and put it in the oven. That
really is such a good way to describe what it smelled like.
I need to make candles. Not of that sense.
Unemployed Diaries candles?
Well, okay, so on Snapchat...
I like this idea.
Okay, so on Snapchat, because listen, for anybody who thinks that Snapchat is, like, immature or, like, ew, why are you still on Snapchat? Get a life. Grow the fuck up, okay?
Wait, really? I hate Snapchat.
Well, but Snapchat's always been love or hate it. Like, since its inception, okay?
Yeah.
And, like, I get it, but there's, like, this whole group of people who are like, ew, if you're over the age of 25 and you're using Snapchat, you're a loser. Like...
I feel like I've definitely said that.
Okay, well... Like, I've been using it since I was in high school, and so I still have a lot of my friends on there, and we still talk. And people are like, ew, Snapchat's just for creepy people who want to send nudes back and forth. And I'm just like...
No, but, like, I will say... I don't want to get myself in trouble with, like, what I'm going to say, but, like, I have, like, first-hand experience with, like, I don't know, just, like, being with someone and then catching them, like, talking to people on younger people on Snapchat, and I'm like, okay, you're clearly trying to hide your messages. Like, it like, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah, but Instagram has that feature, too, where you swipe up and it turns
That's true.
Yeah, so it's not like... But Instagram took all those features from Snapchat.
But I think younger people prefer Snapchat, I think.
You think so?
Yeah. To communicate, for sure.
I think your specific group of Gen Z doesn't like Snapchat, but the younger Gen Z
loves Snapchat.
Right.
Yeah.
And then the millennials love Snapchat.
Okay.
So there's like a little sweet spot where you guys don't like it. And I've been using it for so long. I have all my cousins on there. I have family. And also too, like, if I meet somebody and I'm just like, I don't know where things are going to go. Like, I don't want to give you my number right away or my Instagram. I'll give you my Snapchat.
Oh, no. And if someone were to be like, here's my Snapchat, contact me, I would, like, probably never speak to them again.
Why, though?
I feel like it's not personal.
Really?
Yeah, I think it's weird. Like, I would never be like, oh, here's my Instagram. But that's just me. Like, I'm really the kind of... Well, first of all, I don't even use Snapchat. Okay. I don't even have one anymore. So
that's why you don't reply to our pairs group chat anymore? Okay.
Yeah. I used to. Okay.
Yeah, you did.
Let me clarify. I used to, like, really love Snapchat back in the day. I used it for everything. Like, all my group chats were on Snapchat. I communicated, like, fully on Snapchat. And it was fun. But I just felt like people started leaving, and then I just didn't really like the people that were still on Snapchat.
That's kind of like, so maybe it was the people you had on there.
Yeah.
That kind of soured the experience.
Yeah.
But I also feel like this day and age, getting somebody's number is like, no, I want to talk to you on a different messaging platform before I trust you with my phone number.
Really?
Yes.
Oh, no. I will give out my phone number to literally anybody that asks.
Really? I met somebody a few weeks ago, and they're like, oh, can I get your Instagram? And they wanted to talk on there, which is fine. Like, I didn't have any, like, oppositions to it. Mm-hmm. But when I see you have, like, 10,000 followers, and, like, vice versa, or you follow 10,000 people or whatever, I'm like, I don't feel like that's intimate. I just feel like now you just wanted to get another follower.
See, I feel like... I've kind of always felt that way, where it's like, if we're not communicating over, like, my personal phone number, then, like, it's not
real.
It's not real, yeah. Okay. That's, like, a really good way. It's not real. Like, that's kind of how I always felt about it. It's like, nah, like, you don't have my phone number. Oh, but, like, truly, if anybody, like, I couldn't meet a stranger out in the wild, and they could be like, what's your phone number? I'd probably give it to them. Like, I just don't care.
If I get a genuine vibe from somebody, I'll give them my phone number.
Yeah.
If I'm getting like, okay, you're cute or cool, whatever, fine, Snapchat or Instagram. If I'm not vibing, you're not getting anything.
Okay.
Yeah. Because I just feel
my attitude is always like, I could give my phone number, and then like, if they try to contact me, I could just block them.
See, there's that, and then, but I also like, maybe because I grew up with a parent who's in law enforcement. Yeah. I'm like, what are you gonna do with my phone number?
Oh, I never thought about that.
If in case I get semi-famous or whatever to a point where like, I don't know, where people know who I am, it's like some like low-level celebrity, now my phone number's in the, people are like, oh, I know him, or I met him once, and I have his phone number, who are they gonna give it out to? And like, I'm the type of person who takes things like phone numbers and email usernames and things like that very personal. Okay. So like, if I have to change my phone number, it's like, I dread that.
Interesting.
Like, if I don't know, like, recently, like, we finally got rid of our house phone. Yeah. Our landline, like, 4 or 5 months ago. Yeah. And we had that phone number for, like, 35 years. And I felt like, oh, no, like, we had it for so long, and we just got rid of it.
But you're also, like...
I'm a hoarder, by the way.
Well, I was going to say, no.
My camera roll has, like, 70,000 things on it.
I don't know if I can say this, but, like... If we're talking about, like, giving your phone number to, like, are we talking about, like, people that, like, you're, like, interested in? Or someone that's, like, interested in you on, like, a romantic level?
It could be romantic or friendly. Doesn't matter.
I feel like you, when it comes to, like, that in-between stage where, like, you're trying to, like, navigate if you're, like, into someone, like, you're way more particular, I think, than I am. Yeah. Like, you really are. You're like, you really think about, like, everything about, like, okay, how is this going to, like, impact my life?
No, you would be like, 100% correct, yes.
And you're like, do they have, what are they doing? Here. Like, you really analyze. But not in a bad way. It's, like, very beneficial for you to do that. Like, but you're just really...
If I'm interested in somebody romantically, I'm thinking about everything. Yeah. All right. Yeah. How am I going to get to you? Yeah. Do you drive? Do I drive? Yeah. Do you live alone? Do you live with family? Yeah. Do you work? Yeah. Mm-hmm. Or do you not work? Yeah. Right? Yeah. If you're not working, what are you doing? Yeah. Mm-hmm. Right? Yeah. I'm thinking about the logistics. Am I going to go to you or are you going to come to me? When we go out, where are we going? I'm thinking about that. And then it's like, all right, if I commit to you, how am I going to fit you into my my life?
I was going to say, like, you're very busy. You're very, like, busy. Well, yeah, you are. Okay. You like to think you're not, but you are. You're a busy person.
Yeah, I am.
And you're, like, kind of always moving and grooving. And... you also have a way that you, like, carry yourself that's, like, I think it's great. Like, you care about the way that, like, you present yourself to other people. Mm-hmm. And, like, that gives you a sense of confidence.
That's a trauma response, but go ahead.
Oh, my God. Yeah, but, like...
It is.
Yeah. But, like, you have this way where, like, you're so just, like... you carry yourself higher than I think some other people do. You're not willing to, like, level it down. And I think that's great. I think more people need to be like that.
Yes, I will take everything you said as a compliment. Thank you. Yeah. You're right. It is something that I had to come to terms with a couple years ago. I realized that I'm always doing something. Yeah. And like you said, I like to think that I'm not busy, but I am, like this morning, I was with my mom. We had a couple errands to run. We had a couple appointments we had to do together. Unfortunately, my mom's car, last night the check engine light came on, and now we got to take it to get fixed. Oh, God. It's a known thing with one of the cylinders. Like, it should be covered under warranty, but it's always, like, a pain in the ass to get dealers to cover warranty work. But, like, We were in the South Loop today. We ran some errands on the way home. I dropped her off at her office. Mm-hmm. I had to go do my things, and then I came here. Mm-hmm. So, like, I have not been home since 7:30 this morning.
Yeah, and that's just... But that's, I feel like, how you operate, like, all the time.
Yes. And, like, tomorrow my mom's like, okay, you have to be home because the gas company's coming out. They got to do some work on the meter. You got to be there. Mm-hmm. So I'm like, all right, cool. Like, I know what I have to do tomorrow. I'm like, I could be doing laundry. I could be organizing, my clothes. I can be doing work on the pool. I could be, I got to repaint the ceiling in one of our bathrooms. Like, I'm, like, in my head, like, making plans. Yeah. And then my sister too, because now my sister, she moved out, she has her own home. She's like, when are you coming over? I try to go over maybe once a week if I can. Yeah. And it's like, all right, what are we doing this weekend? Are you having people over? What do I need to do? Do I need to get the house ready? Are we going somewhere? Yeah. Do I need to organize car rides? Like, you're right. I am busy.
You manage a lot of different things.
I do.
You do.
Yeah. Yeah. And
I think, sorry, not to cut you off, but like, I think I could totally see how, like, in your shoes, like, you're already doing a lot all the time and managing a bunch of different things. And so, like, to even think about somebody else, like, coming into, like, your sphere, you would have to be like, okay, are you going to be okay with, like, da 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 da? Mm-hmm. Because, like, you're already there. You're already, like, managing a million things, and if somebody's gonna, like, stop you on your way or slow you down, you're like, nah. Like, it's just not even a thought for you.
And so I've had friends in the past who are like, you need to move out, you need to live on your own because you're doing all these things for your family. And I'm like, I never see... Once in a blue moon I do. Yeah. So I'm like, I don't see it as, like, a punishment.
No,
because, like, I genuinely like my parents. Yeah. I love my grandma. Yeah. My best friend is my sister. Like... Yeah. We get along really well, but my family's always been super tight-knit. Like, even my aunts and my cousins, like, we've always done things together. So, like, of course, I'm like, I'm sorry, like, to whoever, I'm like, you gotta be cool with me doing things with my family. Mm-hmm. Like, we're very family-oriented. But, like, I feel like even if I lived on my own, I would be like, what are you guys doing? What are you guys up to? Are we meeting up? What are we doing for whatever? Mm-hmm.
And I think I can relate to that. Yeah. Like, I have had a few moments, like, even... Because I feel like I'm not as extreme, but I feel like I am really close with my parents and my sister. Like, I talk, to them all the time. And there have even been moments where, like, in the last year, me living on my own, where I've, like, called my mom crying, and I'm like, I just want to move home. Mm-hmm. Like, I just want to be around you guys all the time. I don't like, but I realize that, like, that's part of the journey. And, like, we've had, like, genuine conversations about, my parents being like, this is good for, me being on my own is good for me, and, like, a big step, for me, and, like, to some people, it may not seem that big of a deal, but, like, I have had a huge fear of living alone for as long as I can remember. I used to always tell my family, like, I'm never going to live alone. I don't care if, like, I'm living with a roommate or a boyfriend. If I have to live on my own, I'm coming back home. Like, I'm going to be moving back in with my parents. And, yeah. And with everything that's happened, about a year ago, I was, like, kind of forced into a position where I had to live by myself. Yeah. And, I didn't really know at that time what I was going to do. Like, everything felt really sort of, like, in this transitional phase of my life where, like, nothing was going to be really, like, permanent, but it felt new. Right. And so, we all kind of talked, and, it was just made the most sense for me to stay at my house, and where it made the most sense for me to stay at my house, and it does help having my dogs. Yeah. But I just had a lot of anxiety about being alone, and, yeah, like, I don't know. It was just a big fear, and I don't know why that was. I haven't really heard of anybody else who, like, experienced that, where they were, like, afraid to be on their own. For me, it was just like a safety thing. I just felt like really uncomfortable, like, being, like, anywhere. I mean, even, like, even if I was, like, in a hotel by myself, like, I really felt a lot of time kind of uneasy. But I got, you push through and you get over it, and now it's, like, now we're better. And I still have moments where I go, like, I just miss sometimes, like, waking up and just having coffee with my mom, or, having dinner with with someone else, and whatnot. But I try to remember that, like, that's temporary. Like, I'm gonna, I'm not gonna be living in a house by myself forever.
Well, see, my parents always joke with me that I'm squatting, and I'm, like, gonna force them out. Like, they'll move out and go retire somewhere else, and then I get to keep the house. Like, that's like the big joke in my family right now. Because I live in the same house that I was born in. Yeah. I've never moved. Like, I've lived in the house. I'm certain amount of years old, and that's how long I've been in that house. Yeah, I've lived in my house since I was born, and, like, so...
Can I ask a question?
Yeah.
With, like, you living at home and, like, being unemployed, does it make you feel, like, a sense of guilt?
It did at first.
Okay.
Definitely at first, I felt like, oh crap, this is the first time in, like, 15 years that I am now going to have to, like, rely on my parents, like, fully, and I'm like, what is it going to do to them financially? How's it going to affect them? Is it going to change their lifestyle because I lost my job? And, like, I had enough savings for about a year, and now I'm fully dependent right now on my parents.
Yeah.
And they're like, we don't mind, like, yeah, we always make it work no matter what, but they're like, you need to do what you need to do, essentially. And, like, I have their full support, and I'm, like, extremely grateful for that.
Yeah.
But, yeah, it was tough at first. Like, I felt like once I got over, the initial, like, shock of being fired, I felt like I was just, like, doing everything and anything around the house. So, like, to show them, like, hey, just because I'm not working doesn't mean I'm not going to, like, earn my keep here. Like, and that's kind of how I feel still. Like, I'm always doing something around the house so that they know I'm not just sitting on my ass all day.
Yeah.
So at first, I felt guilty living there and being unemployed, but now it's like, okay, it's a fact. I'm unemployed. Am I looking for work? Yes, I'm still actively looking for work. But I'm also keeping busy in other ways, too, so that I don't feel like I'm just being a bum on their couch. Yeah. Yeah, for sure.
I think that's important. Like, just being able to offer, like, your services to, if you can't offer, like, financial help, you can offer, like, your services, and in turn, like, that still saves them money. Like, I think if anyone's listening and they are unemployed, I think that would be my first advice, would be don't just sit around, keep busy.
Oh, yeah.
Do whatever it is that you can in your free time to help the people in your life that are willing to help you.
Right.
Because who knows, like, maybe in 5 years, like, the tables are going to be reversed, and you want to, like, you want to maintain the relationships that you have, and I wouldn't want to do anything to, like, jeopardize, like, the friendships and closeness that I have with other people. I think it's easy to feel guilty being unemployed, just in general. I think kind of how we said, like, there is a stigma of, like, oh, I lost my job, but the reality is that this happens to so many people, and also, as unfortunate as it is, a lot of people right now are really struggling, like, just because the economy is not in the best place, like, these big factors that are outside of all of our control, and I don't know about you, but the people that I know who are working and employed, a lot of them are getting to a point at their jobs where, it's becoming really mentally taxing because of, like, the way that their industries have had to change and pivot to keep up with, like, the times. Usually what happens when we're, like, in a recession or a bad financial state in this country is that, like, these large corporations are gonna try to squeeze as much as they can out of the, like, small working, you know, what is the word I'm looking for? Like, people that they have working for them.
Mm-hmm. They're going to exploit them as much as they can.
They're going to try to exploit them as much as they can. And these people, a lot of the time, the people being quote unquote exploited are just that. It's our friends, it's our parents, it's our siblings. Those are the people who are working these jobs, and they have to go in every day, and it feels like they're giving 110%, and then they're coming home and they're like, I don't have any more to give. And I see that, and I just, you know, it's hard. It's like, how do we help those people? And I think that's where, like, if you're unemployed, you kind of have a responsibility to step in and offer to be, whether that be cleaning, helping them clean, helping them organize, maybe make them dinner, you know, do the things that they don't have to think about, so that way at least they can just wake up maybe the next day and feel a little less pressure when they have to go to work. Well,
like, okay, so we've, like we mentioned earlier at the top of the pod, we've had some really extreme weather here in the Chicagoland area, and my sister lost power for about 2 days. So she came to stay with us because she had no air conditioning. It's been hot. Her sump pumps she has 2 sump pumps in her basement, and since there's no electricity, water backs up into her basement. And her husband, my brother-in-law, was coming from work, and I'm like, I made dinner, come eat, and then come pick up the generator from our house. You can get, you know, the sump pumps working, whatever. And I felt good knowing that I was able to help them out.
Yeah.
You know, I made sure the guest room was made up. I washed the sheets. I cleaned out the guest room. Made sure they had everything they needed. Got their favorite drinks in the fridge, and made sure that they had breakfast. And then when they came home from work, both of them, that they had meals prepared. That this way they don't have to worry about going somewhere, ordering food or cooking. I'm like, just come here. I have dinner ready, and then this way you guys can focus on getting your house back in order. And I was just like, I was so happy that I was able to do that for them.
Yeah. Yeah,
for sure. Yeah.
It's hard. Yeah. I think everybody right now is kind of feeling it. You know, just, it's like, whether it be the environment that we're living in. Like, you know, I was even kind of talking about it with my mom about how, you know, just as a kid, I would have never thought that, like, as an adult, every summer we would be having, like, hazardous air quality.
Yeah,
I never thought we would be having, like, wildfires and these things happen. I didn't think that we would.
For me, wildfires were, like, something that happened every, you know, like, 6 or 7 years, but, like, in California or something.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Same thing with, like, tornadoes. Like, we never got tornadoes, I feel like, as a kid. We got them, like, maybe once every few years. And now it's becoming a thing where we're getting numerous. It's like almost every time there's, like, a bad thunderstorm, we're getting a tornado.
And, like, in our area, because it's so densely populated with all our buildings and houses, it kind of, like, prevents tornadoes from forming.
Yeah.
But, like you said, like, the last 2 years, we've been getting tornado warnings or watches, like, every other week.
Yeah,
and I know
just
they touched down in Wisconsin and caused a lot of damage. You know, some people lost their lives, unfortunately, and like in those areas of Wisconsin, like I know people. I'm just like, are you okay? Like, yeah, our town's just torn up now. I'm like, what?
Yeah,
like when it hits that close to home, you're like, oh my god. I know maybe 2 or 3 years ago there was a microburst, which is like a really, really like mini short like 2-second tornado.
Oh, okay.
And it tore up. My grandma lives in a condo, and it's only 2 floors, and so she lives on the second floor, and it just like sucked up a big chunk of the roof.
Oh
and
my god!
Threw it in the back where everybody parks.
Oh wow!
I mean, they have you can't like park. You have to be in the garage, but like there's like a big driveway back there, and it just like sucked up this portion of the roof and threw it down on the ground, and then with all the rain, my grandma's ceiling in her bedroom collapsed.
Oh my god.
So they had to come repair the roof first and then repair my grandma's ceiling. Yikes. Because of the rain damage, And so she had dehumidifiers all over her apartment or her condo. They had to redo the hallway or what the stairs are at for everybody coming in and out of. Like, it was bad.
climate change is happening really fast. I think faster than, like, I don't know about you, but faster than I really anticipated.
I think so, yeah.
And it's, like, progressing and getting worse, and I just don't think anybody is really prepared for what's been happening. I remember a few years ago, I was toying with the idea of moving just to somewhere warmer, like whether that be moving to Florida or down south, like I love Savannah. Like, I've always, like, wanted to move somewhere where it's warm all the time, but I really thought about, like, okay, but that's such a short-term thing. Like, that's like a, what does that really look like long-term for me? And I realized, like, we're having homes in Louisiana and Florida that insurance companies just, like, won't even insure anymore because of hurricanes. And I'm like, I just don't. I think to be smart in terms of, like, real estate is to think about, like, where's gonna be climate-wise the safest.
Yeah.
And I felt like staying here in the Midwest was the best idea because, truthfully, we don't get hurricanes. Tornadoes here and there, but we're, like, in Chicago, and so it's a little.
The storms we had recently were hurricane level, like, winds and rainfall. Yeah.
And I don't know. It's been kind of crazy just to think about, like, what is the next few years going to look like, and I try to not be nihilistic about it. But I think that's also just part of being unemployed. Like, you just don't really know what the future holds. I don't know about you, but, like, I'm in a really weird place right now in life where I just don't know what I want my next move to be.
Mine too.
In terms of, like, a career.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't think I want to go back to doing the job that I was doing before. And so, for me, that is really difficult to, like, figure out what is my next step. What do I do next? So I'm really just kind of trying to do a lot of different things, and hopefully that will help me determine whatever it is, the next thing I want to do. I just want to be passionate about it, whether it's, like, a company that I'm working for and I really believe in the product or service that they're offering, the values they stand behind. Like, I want to do something that I feel good about every day,
you were talking about, like, relocating. When I saw the writing on the wall at my former company, I was, active while I was working, was looking for other opportunities.
Yeah.
And I got this phone interview for a company who's based in Columbus, Ohio. And they would want me to relocate, but they would pay for my relocation fees. But it essentially was the same exact job I was doing for my former company. Same base pay, but I would and they wanted me in the office 3 days out of the week, where I was working fully remote. And if I did go into the office, it was 45 minutes to an hour away.
Yeah.
And they're like, well, yeah, but it is hybrid, but you're in Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and you would need to relocate because we want you in the office. And I'm like, yeah, you're paying me the same amount. Is it worth it? And they're like, Columbus is a great city. I'm like, I'm sure it is, but I live in Chicago, like, Chicago proper. Like, I have filet mignon here. Y'all are ground beef. No offense. No offense to anybody who lives in Columbus. It's a very lovely little city, but it was tough for me and my parents were like, well, why don't you do it? Why don't you go live on your own for a little bit? I'm like, and do what?
Yeah.
I'm like, the same job. I'm making the same amount of money. Yes, maybe the cost of living in Columbus would have been a little bit cheaper.
Yeah.
I said, but then that kind of, even though it's cheaper cost living, I still got to pay rent.
Yeah.
I'm not paying rent right now.
And I think part of it, too, is you have to think about what is the, weigh your options in terms of, sure, the cost of living is less, and maybe you'll save money, but what is the experience you're getting out of it? Like, is it really, like, going to be this, like, enriching experience in your life? Like, I don't know.
Well, I asked the recruiter, I said, well, I applied for this job, but
Yeah.
you're telling me this other position I would be better suited for, but there's no open positions. And I said, what if I take this job and when that other position becomes available, can I apply for it internally? She's like, yes, but in order to apply for a job, another position internally at this company, you have to be working there for at least 2 years in the job that they hired you for, and then you can apply internally.
Oh, no.
And I was like, no, that's not worth it then.
No.
No. So I was like, no. But I emailed that recruiter because the position that I did want, I applied for it. Never heard anything, and I emailed her twice this last year, or in the last few months, being like, "Hey, we talked about this a year ago. Like, it's open now, and it's fully remote. Like, I wouldn't have to relocate. If I would have gotten that job, it would have been fully remote, and they would have paid my expenses to be. It was for like an assistant creative director.
Okay.
And it's a clothing company, and they're like, oh yeah, the only time you would travel is if you need to be on set for photo shoots.
Oh.
And like, knowing this company, they have shoots everywhere, like all over the world, and I'm just like, that would have been like the most
coolest job
ever, just to fly around and like be creative directors, and have the opportunity to move up to be like a senior creative director or something, because that you can take as a creative director, you can go anywhere. After you get that experience.
Yeah.
Like, it doesn't have to be in fashion or like retail clothing. It can go anywhere. Yeah.
Yeah.
But, I kind of felt guilty for not taking the first one. Like, well, maybe it would have been an enriching experience. Like you said, I will never know. And I did feel guilty for a little bit not taking that initial job, because it would have been a year already that I had been working for the company. But then I would have been in a different state, in a different city, away from my family. Who knows? It may have been a good thing, but
I don't think you can dwell on like what would have been.
Right. I'm not dwelling on it, but every once in a blue moon I'm like, what? Yeah, I would say, I would think about it.
Like, what would be? I think that's normal from time to time to think about stuff like that. Because I think especially like at just your late 20s.
Yes, I'm in
you're
my
in your late 20s.
Yes, I am.
I know a lot of people who reach their late 20s and go, the life that I was setting up for myself, like in my early 20s, mid 20s, like I thought that I was like gonna have everything that I wanted, and now I'm here and now I hate it. Or alternatively, it's like I worked to get everything that I was like wanted, and I like almost got there, and then it all fell apart.
That was me.
Yeah. And I've had that happen. I had that happen to me. And it's like, but life doesn't end. You have to figure it out, and you gotta just keep rolling with the punches. And I think at the end of the day, that's the best thing that you can kind of take away from being unemployed is like persevere through it. Understand that like the state you're in is temporary, and do your best to use the time to enrich your life.
Right.
Use the time to do the experiences that you're not going to be able to have when you're working 9 to 5.
This is unrelated. All right. So as you guys know, it's time to wrap up our pod with something light and frothy.
Light and frothy.
A little bit light and frothy.
Yeah.
If we ever change the name of this podcast, I could change it to light and frothy. But I saw this reel, Dana, of they were asking this radio DJ. I had no idea who she was, but they asked her what her favorite like guilty pleasure song was.
Okay.
And I know we talked about it a little bit before we started recording. Her favorite guilty pleasure song was "Thank You Next" by Ariana Grande. Don't know why that's considered a guilty pleasure. If you think it's a guilty pleasure song, let us know down below. Let in the comments, like, why do you think that's... I don't think it's a guilty pleasure. I think that's like you can listen to it and nobody will judge you type of song. Yeah. But, okay, so I guess it's a kind of a loaded question. What is one of your guilty pleasures? It doesn't have to be music. It can be anything. Okay. And 2, do you think that we should feel guilty about the things that we like?
Okay.
You go first.
First things first, my guilty... Guilty pleasure. This is hard. Okay. Guilty pleasure, I feel like for me, okay, two things.
Okay.
I do enjoy doom scrolling. Like before bed.
Okay, yeah.
And in the morning.
Morning for me, for sure.
Yeah. Doom scrolling, like TikTok, I don't know. There's just something about it. The other guilty pleasure for me is probably just rewatching like movies from my childhood. So, like, literally everything on Disney Plus. Like I'm talking like Alice, like it's cringy. Like it's not.
You're talking to a Disney adult.
Yeah,
okay?
I know. It's okay. Like literally watching like Sleeping Beauty, Cinderella, like the old cartoons.
Mm-hmm.
I love I think I just love the animation from like the really old cartoons.
Yeah.
I love Sleeping Beauty for the like artwork.
Oh yeah, it's
in
beautiful.
It's so beautiful, and and then of course like my go-to movie all the time is The Sound of Music. Like whenever I'm in a bad mood, or like even if I'm in a good mood, I love the music. It's like my favorite movie.
All right, don't judge me, but I've never seen The Sound of Music. There's a handful of movies and musical movies that I've never seen.
Yeah.
And I feel like at this point in my life, I shouldn't watch them because they're so hyped up and like beloved, and you know they have these cult followings, and they're like considered cult classics that I feel like if I watch them, like if I didn't grow up watching them, I'm not going to feel what people felt when they watched them for the first time.
How do you feel about like The Wizard of Oz?
I watched it as a kid.
Okay.
I like it. But
because that's also like a guilty pleasure. Like The Wizard of Oz is like one of my.
I like The Wizard of Oz.
Wicked. That is like my realm. I'm like obsessed.
All right. Nobody, don't. Okay, maybe come for me in the comments. Fight me if you want to. Okay, so I saw Wicked when it was on Broadway when I was like in 3rd or 4th grade.
Yeah.
Loved it. Mm-hmm. And then when I went to go see the film adaptation with Ariana and her girlfriend, I enjoyed the first one.
Okay.
And then I'm like, and then when the second one came out a year later, I'm like, this didn't need to be a whole separate year-long, like, wait just to see the second act of it. And I'm like, viewing it through the storyline through an adult's eyes, I'm like, what's going on here? Why are they creating their own? Why are they making something out of nothing? Like Glinda and Alphaba were like, there was a solution there.
Yeah.
And I feel like they both, you know, I know they quote. I'm quoting, not to quote Defying Gravity, but they literally both flew off the handle. And I'm like, you could just been like, all right, Alphaba, you could have just done what you gotta do with that book, done what you did on Secret, and then like maybe held Glinda accountable for her actions too.
Okay, I understand.
Like there was so many like plot holes, and I see that now as an adult.
Yeah.
And I remember taking a class when I was in community college. It was like a theater class, like discussing like iconic plays and musical, and like my professor hated Wicked. He was just like, it was all visual. It was like the decline of real artwork on stage, and I was like, why? He's like, because it was so expensive. It was like one of the most expensive like tickets for a Broadway like play like ever at that time in the early 2000s. And he's like, everything went into the production of the sets and the special effects. And I'm like, well, people want to see their money on stage. They want to see like the visual effects and the practical effects. I said, so what's the harm in liking that? I remember having this conversation.
I love like a big
production,
gaudy production.
I do too.
I love that. I think that's one of the reasons why I loved The Wizard of Oz as a kid. It was just so much.
Yeah, there was so much visual stimulation on the screen. Yeah. And I brought that up to him too. I'm like, Wizard of Oz. He's like, well, that's for movies. You really need that on stage. Stage, you can use your imagination. And I'm like, that's one way of thinking. But like, I don't see the harm in a big production, you know, like with sets and things like that. And I have friends who work in set design, and they're like for theater productions. And I said, does it matter if the subject matter or the play itself is kind of shit? And they're relying on the set, like, do you feel like that's kind of like a cop-out?
Yeah.
And some of them have mixed reviews, or mixed answers. Some people said yes, some people said no. People, if they like what they're seeing, even if the storyline isn't the greatest, they're still going to have a good time. Yeah. And that's what, I guess, modern theater is having a good time.
I think that's part of the reason why I do love cartoons. Is because a lot of the time the story, like the actual plot, doesn't need to be super interesting for me. I just love like the visual experience. Yeah, the visual storytelling of it all. Okay. So I would say probably like cartoon. Like I would say my guilty pleasure is cartoons, like old cartoons. Okay. And do I think people should be judged? No, I think the only time you should be judged for your hobby is if you're harming someone or something, right? And if it's criminal activity. Otherwise, I think people should just do what they want. Do what makes you happy. And yeah, what about you? What's your guilty pleasure?
That's a great question. I think my guilty pleasure, I'm going to say junk food. Okay,
that's a good one.
Snacks, prepackaged things, like processed foods. I am not above it. I know there's people that are like, ew, like, oh, you're eating an Oreo. It's like all chemicals. Like, it's gross.
I can't stand people like that.
Neither can I. So do I indulge in moderation? Absolutely. Yeah. I think that's important. But I'm not gonna be like, oh, I'm not eating that because of whatever, right? I do like to snack. I'm a big snacker, whether that be on vegetables and fruits that day, or whether that be like a Rice Krispie treat or, a Twinkie or something. I don't see food as bad. There's a stigma around especially not as healthy food, like snacks and things like that. People are like, oh, you're eating that? And I'm like, if you enjoy it in moderation, it's not bad for you. Yeah, no. Now if I'm sitting at home just shoving things down my throat all day, then then we have a problem. But people see it as a guilty thing, oh, you're drinking that or you're eating that, how could you? Yeah. And I'm not going to feel sorry or ashamed for that.
You shouldn't.
No.
Life is just way too short. It's just too short to care, if you don't want to eat, if you want a bag of chips, just eat the bag of chips. Actually, my mom, who's a nurse, has always said this. She said, it's better to indulge in your craving because otherwise you will end up consuming the same amount of calories trying to satiate the thing you want. Correct. And it's not going to. Nope. So you're just going to basically rummage through and eat a bunch of different things to try to compensate, and it's not going to be worth it in the end. Right. And that has always stuck with me. So, try to eat as healthy as you can, but it's also okay to have a dessert, have a little treat. Everyone deserves. Life is hard. Have a little treat, okay?
Yep. One of my aunts, she was staying with my grandma at the time. She was trying to sell her house and find another house. And she had a Cinnabon. She was in the living room eating a Cinnabon. Yeah. And she ate the whole thing. I'm like, you ate the whole thing? She's like, yeah, it's a Cinnabon. It's for one person. And I'm like, no, it's not. Because I always grew up sharing them with my sister. Yeah. My mom's like, that's a huge.
Yeah, they are really big.
They're huge. They're loaded with sugar. It's carbs. And so I always would split it either with my sister or with my mom, or the three of us would split it. And my aunt ate the whole thing. And she's like, how often do you have Cinnabon? I go, maybe once a year. Yeah. And she goes, okay, if you're only eating it once a year, what's the harm in having it to yourself? Just the whole bun. And I'm like, I still feel kind of guilty. She's like, yeah, but you're not doing it every day. Yeah. She's like, you indulge that one time, once a year, and you get it out of your system and you're done. Yeah. And that stuck with me with a lot of things. So I'm like, yeah, like we say in Spanish, tienes razón. I'm like, yeah, you're right. And no, I don't think, for the second part of my question, that we should be, like, feeling guilty for things that we enjoy, unless, like you said, it's criminal activity or you're harming other people, then that's not okay.
Yeah.
But, like, I don't get why we put so much pressure on ourselves to seek external validation about the things we like.
That's a good question. I think...
See, you got me now asking you all these.
I like this, but I feel like people do that because we worry too much about... Humans have, like, an innate need to fit in and feel a part of something, and being into something that maybe, like, the people around you aren't interested in can feel a little isolating, like, and it could make you question, like, if you're not secure within yourself, like, it can make you question if you're fitting in within that group. Mm-hmm. And then I think the fear comes in with, well, if I don't, am I gonna be without my clan, you know? Mm-hmm. From, like, a psychological sense, I think that's where it comes from. But on a really more real sense, I think people just worry, like, does it make me not cool? Does it turn people away from me, or is it going to turn people towards me?
Right.
And I think to be truly confident is to just not care. It's to just go, I don't really care if this thing I'm into turns people against me or if it turns people towards me. Like, this is what I like, and it is what it is. But you have to make those choices for yourself. Like, you know, you have to determine what you're willing to do. And like I said, if it's criminal or if it's harming other people, that's a different thing. Mm-hmm. That's bad. But if it's like movies, TV shows, certain kinds of music, if you find yourself being really into things that the people around you are not, maybe those aren't the people for you.
Right.
Maybe your issue isn't within yourself. It's just maybe you need a different group to be around that does relate to you more. That realization can be really scary. Yeah. For some people, especially I think if you live in an area that's a little bit more isolated. Yeah. Where you don't have a lot of, like, other connections. So that would kind of make, but, you know, online friends are growing. Like, a lot of adults I know are, like, meeting people online and then meeting them in person and building whole entire, like, friend groups just out of, like, people that they've connected with online over similar hobbies. Yeah. So
my cousin's boyfriend, he went to Buffalo last weekend to go meet people that he met online, like friends, like mutual friends, like he and his siblings have. They went to go do that. I met one of my longtime internet friends, like they had a layover in Chicago. I was just like, we can meet up for a few hours. Like, it was really cool. And there's always this, however, there's one little caveat. I will be quick about it. How, like, there's people, like, you guys can get along online and, you know, text back and forth, message back and forth. Then when you get there in person, it's just like, there's no chemistry. Mm-hmm. I know that's happened, but thankfully and luckily for me, hasn't been my experience. Yeah. I kind of feel like what you get online or through messaging with me is what you get in person. Yeah. Like, very much so. So, you tell us in the comments. Yeah. What are your guilty pleasures?
Yeah, I want to know. What is everyone's guilty pleasure?
Right. And is Thank You Next a guilty pleasure song? I don't
Let's debate about
it. In the comments. Again, please, like, we appreciate everybody who's subscribed, who's listening. It really does mean a lot. Share this, like always, with your friends. Like us on Instagram. We're there. Yeah. And, you know, for the Unemployed Diaries, I'm Dominic.
I'm Dana.
Make it a good week. Yeah. I've been watching a lot of Sandra Lee, semi-homemade. So I want to do an outro inspired by her.
Yes, please do.
Make it a good week. Remember to keep it simple, keep it fresh, keep it classy, keep it quick.
Slay.
Keep it guilty.
Keep it guilty.
But also, keep it semi-homemade. I'm Sandra Lee. Bye-bye.
Bye.
All right, bye, everyone.